pass these out.
All right.
There you go. Okay, we're live. This is the Purchasing Commission, Wednesday, May 8th, 2024, at our regular 4 p.m. starting time. So first of all, I'd like to get underway by calling this meeting to order. We'll take our roll here. I know we're missing Joe Mike today, but we do have 3 of us here, so we can still have our meeting today. So, so would I like to have everybody have a copy of the agenda? Have you got one?
I do.
Stephen? Okay. I'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Is the medical on there?
I need to,
Oh, okay, sorry. Go ahead.
I actually need to add something to new business.
Okay.
I need to, add a jail medical price increase.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody else need anything else added to under new business?
That's it.
Okay. All righty, being none, I just need a motion to approve this agenda.
Motion to approve.
A motion to approve by Frank Watkins, and a second.
I'll second it.
Second by Tim Brown. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. So Frank, on the minutes, did you get those minutes sent in, or do you have you did?
No, I sent them in last time, a couple days afterwards.
Okay, well, we can't find any minutes. Connie couldn't find them, and
Okay.
couldn't find any minutes.
I'll
so-
go back on my computer and look, and if not, I'll resend them to Sam
Okay,
for the next meeting.
okay. All righty, so, we haven't read those, so we can't approve the minutes, so.
Right.
Going on, any public comments? Sean, have anything? No. Okay, all right. All right, let's discuss the maintenance at the EMA and the WEX fuel cards.
Yeah, so I have 2 departments asking to have WEX fuel cards. Of course, we started with the sheriff's department. They're nice. They're easier to use. Right now, like especially for maintenance, of course, we do have properties in Tullahoma. Rick and his guys might have to travel to get things outside of Coffee County. And if he happens to be low on fuel or be pushing it, same for EMA. They travel outside of the county. Sometimes they're all over the county. Sometimes it's hard to get to the co-op. So they have requested that they have WEX fuel cards because you can use a WEX fuel card anywhere. There's not, from every place to Sam's Club and in between. So, Rick would have 4 fuel cards, and EMA would have 4 fuel cards.
And EMA would be for the ones at the stations in Tullahoma.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay?
So I have brought all the agreements. If you agree for them to have fuel cards today, Jimmy, I would just need you to sign off that we discussed it and purchasing agreed upon it. And it'll have the same parameters, like the directors or admin would have more access. The other ones would be more kind of controlled down, like their limit. And that would just be something we'd have to look at. Like if Rick says, I don't need more than $400 or fuel or whatever between us, then I would just probably split between his cards or whatever like that. But we can adjust them as we go on, or whatever limit you'd like to put on them.
Right, okay. Mary, you have any discussion on this, on the fuel card thing? Do you have any opinion on that, or you wanna bring out?
No, I just heard that these are pre-loaded amounts. and
Not,
that-
we can adjust them to whatever we want on them.
It's like a credit limit.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
no different than,
okay.
you can say this one drives or has the most ability, like Rick would probably drive more than his normal guys because he's going all over the place. So he would probably have a higher limit than say Justin or Matthew or Rick Senior or something like that. That's what I was kind of getting at there. So not everybody it wouldn't just be, it's not just open-ended fuel card for everyone just to run. Of course, it's still connected to our vehicle. They still have to put in mileage. All the safety checks are still there with a normal fuel card. It's just if Rick is at Builder Supply in Tullahoma and he has, a quarter tank and then gets caught on the highway or traffic or anything could happen, he's going to run out and he can't go get fuel.
Gotcha.
So, and sometimes we're not perfect and we forget to check our gas light. Happens to the best of us. So it would just make not that they wouldn't still utilize the co-op. I think just it would make their life easier if they had another alternative, kind of like we did for the sheriff's department.
Frank, you got some experience in this, so enlighten us on it a little bit.
Well, we found it easier because a lot of times the co-ops pumps are down. And so used to, we would have to go to Milloway's Market and set up an account, temporarily to get stuff like that, or during some type of issue, do something like that. This is give us a little more freedom to be able to be anywhere in the county, and for that matter, out of the county, especially for a transport, and not have like before that we had just a Shell card. You had to hunt a Shell station, and it never failed. You'd get somewhere and they wouldn't be a Shell station. So that's why we had a credit card, and we would give them that. Well, this is a little more easier, and you get to keep up with it. Like Stephanie said, you've got the mileage on there, the car number, it's assigned to the car.
Yeah.
You've got a driver number. It allows that. And yeah, you can use it. So far, we've tried it out. We ain't found one yet. We can't use the card as long as they've got either pay at the pump or go in and prepay.
I'm real familiar with this too. We use this with the city. I like it. I like the you got your last four of your socials, your identification number, so it's pretty hard to
Say it wasn't you.
Right.
it's pretty
Do they charge a fee over and above actual purchase amount?
We actually get a discount using them. They have a state contract. That's why it actually saves the county money. That's
And one thing is too, like they told us back, I don't know, a couple of 3 years ago when they done a little presentation for us, like where gas is cheap at in town, that's usually where it's going to be cheap at. Well, not only do you get the discount that Stephanie's talking about per gallon of gas, but you also get the tax off of it. So that's actually cheaper where that is than another station. So if you just know where the gas is cheaper, you can go there and actually get it even cheaper.
So we need to, do we need to put a fuel amount limit on these cards, on each department? Does it need to be different, or?
Have they looked at their
I
gas
haven't
usage now?
usually my first part of the process is the green light to let them have a card. And then I'll have to probably go back and look at what their fuel is. I can pull probably Rick's fairly easy. I'll have to get with Alan on what he thinks his budget is, which, I mean, they kind of already have a fuel budget in their budget line, so I don't think we would really ever go over that, but
So we need to hold off on approving it. We just need a motion for this to continue, and you do
Yes.
the research, right? Okay, I'm good with this. I mean, you guys, I'm entertaining a motion for her to proceed on, if anybody wants to make one with this.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Motion by Frank Watkins. Second, Tim Brown. All in favor of this?
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. All right, number 7 on our agenda is the Canon copier contracts and equipment.
so right now we have most all county offices have a Canon printer in them. They're under state contract. Some of these are going out and the equipment is old. And actually they've just renewed their statewide contract, so the contracts are actually cheaper. And whether you go with just a black and white printer or black and color, they cover the maintenance on it. They include your toner, so like if one of the printers are out, I call them up, they send me a toner. I'm not paying for that. It's part of the contract itself. They do have like a per page, it's like a % of a penny. And I printed off 2. But the reason why we we will have to approve for me to go out and see if everybody wants to re-up their leases. And then it's gonna have to go through the full commission once I get a list of everybody, because they're for a total of 60 months. So they are 1-year contracts, but you have 4 renewals on top of that. And so to me, that makes it a multi-year contract, so it needs to go through us in the full commission to approve them. And to me, I mean, it saves us money. So it's a no-brainer if the department head wants to continue with a lease and Canon comes, they take the old equipment out, they bring the new equipment in. We really don't have to do much for that. And they will customize them to what we want, whether you want a stapler or finisher, hole punch, whatever. They kind of customize the printer to you and your options. And the reason why I started digging is because we had a few departments that didn't get the chance to come on, whether they didn't have the money or didn't realize they would have a need for it at the time. Now they're wanting to be a part of Canon. So when I reached back out, they were like, yes, and actually, we have actually a cheaper rate. So it actually ends up saving our county offices quite a bit of money. So I'm kind of asking for the request to proceed with reaching out back to offices, getting these reapproved so that we can pass those on to the full commission.
Okay, all right. Mayor, you have any comment on this?
No,
Any,
trust Stephanie and her judgment on
all right, Frank, so say ye on this?
I'm good.
Tim, how about yourself? Any discussion?
It's fine with me. I trust her too.
Okay, all right, so I entertain a motion for her to proceed.
I'll make a motion. for her to
Second.
proceed.
Motion made by Tim Brown, seconded by Frank Watkins. All in favor of this motion?
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. So, getting to number 8, we're looking at surplus on gov deals. Stephanie again.
So Sheriff's Department has a few vehicles that are going to be sold from the drug fund. I have all the paperwork for them to go. So we're just approving them for me to actually put the ad out so we can move forward with the sale. On top of the Sheriff's Department's vehicles, I do have one from Codes and 2 from EMS. I have Codes has a 2003 Expedition, which we got in like 2011. It's in pretty rough shape. It'll be sold as is. It doesn't get utilized anymore. Before I run these 3 vehicles, I'm going to say 2. Before I put a couple of these vehicles out, I'll see if any other department wants them before I move forward with Gov Deals. I will say there's a 2005 Explorer that EMS used. I think it was like the sheriff's before that, and then Allen's before that. It has served its purpose for the county. It's actually dangerous. I would not want anyone to drive it in the county. When I put it on Gov Deals, it just needs to be for parts only. And so this one is a little different. I've had vehicles before that I've had to run several times because no one's purchased them. This one, instead of wasting our time, money, and effort, if it doesn't sell, I'd like to be able to just take it to like CFC and let the county get scrap for it, because it really does need to be for parts only. There is a 2008 GMC Yukon that I think is in fairly good shape, so that's why I'm going to probably put that one out there to see if any other departments need one. But if not, then I'm going to send that one to Gov Deals as well.
Okay.
And I didn't make multiple copies of all that, but does anybody want to look at?
Yeah, I want to look at it.
Okay. And that way we can clear the lot for the sheriff.
So you're
Like I'm
needing,
saying
you're
that
needing a
way.
motion to get this going, get this
Yes, because
started.
it is a process, because I have to run the ad like 3 consecutive times, so it does take us a little bit of time and effort to get the sale going.
Okay.
I got a question on that, Stephanie. On the Gov Deal ads, are we able to do those any more efficient as far as doing like a yearly ad that says that the county will be served, selling multiple items.
I did talk to the sheriff about that, and the answer is I don't know. We had talked about doing like a, bigger ad of everything we have, whether we have documentation or not. Of course, we never move through it with a sale without having all the proper documents.
Sure.
But that way we at least have an approval list through here.
Right.
So once purchasing has approved, pending all documents, which would fall on me and the sheriff's department, making sure that's right. But at least this process would be done, and then we could just advertise them as is. I guess what we could do,
I
guess
didn't
I could.
mind about this. I wasn't really concerned about the going through the here. I was thinking about just a general ad in the paper, if that could be done, like at the beginning of the budget year every year, that says that, Coffee County government will be selling several items through Gov Deals, blah, blah, blah.
Maybe, if I could, let me check with CTAS. Maybe they have other counties that do that, and
Sure.
they probably do. I don't know what purchasing policy they follow, because ours, I think, stipulates we have to say what we're
Okay.
about to surplus.
Well, that was why I asked.
But if we could move that route, it would be easier for everybody.
Sure.
If we could, it would streamline y'all's side tremendously. Anyway,
So,
I will.
I know ads aren't cheap.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Work on that, John.
Alrighty, is that it, Stephanie?
Yes.
All right, entertain a motion to get that rolling.
Motion to Stephanie to go ahead and process of selling the surplus items and declaring them surplus.
Okay, need a second?
second.
Second by Tim Brown. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. All right, next under new business, we have, let's just go ahead and get the jail medical price increase. Let's do that first.
Do you want
Okay.
yours or mine?
Oh, I got mine. So Stephanie's got copies for everybody. I did too. This is actually twofold. This is about inmate medical services there at the jail for the inmates. Purchasing is over the inmate medical contracts. And so therefore we need to bring this before y'all. The first part of it, the inmate medical, contract is due for renewal. I don't think Stephanie's got that one. I made copies for that one. There's,
I did bring our current, or
Yes.
at least our updated one.
and then there's that.
Those are the same.
So,
Same.
no, one's proposed.
Okay,
one's current.
okay.
So, on the first part of it, the single page that I handed you is the actual inmate medical cost for the contract per month for QCHC, which is the current inmate medical provider. Right now, they're doing, it's $66,266.36 a month. It'll be going up to, their proposal is $72,230.33. Last year, they went up 3%. The year before that, they didn't go up at all. The year prior to that, they didn't go up at all. This year, they're needing to go up to cover costs is 9%. I can just say that QCHC has been phenomenal with inmate medical. I would be safe to say that they provide medical services as good, if not better, than some hospitals around here as far as to the inmates. Their documentation is second to none. They have been instrumental in saving us and the county several hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of lawsuits because of their documentation for the medical services they provide. And they work with the district attorney's office and everybody else in case somebody has some type of detrimental illness to try to get them into the necessary facility that would adequately service them for their needs, and work with the DA's office to help do that. So, if anybody has any other questions.
And just from me looking at the two, like when we had talked about this earlier, it really looks like a lot of what's going up, I mean, some things that they already are providing have went up, like $5
That's
or
separate.
10. Is that
That's
separate from this?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Kind of the
separate
biggest
than
thing is
that.
like, the prescriptions kind of doubled. That was kind of like, I mean, it went from 5 to 10.
Nope, those are different, Jimmy. I was talking about the one pager.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's the one pager.
So
These two are separate.
These are just what's passed on, correct?
The 2-page that you've got that says current and proposed,
Yeah.
that's a separate thing. That is what basically what the provider charges the inmate, and we'll get to that in just a second. This is just for the raw contract that is due for renewal this year.
I still think that's fair for what all they provide.
So that's this page right here that you have.
All right,
That's,
gotcha.
that's just for the raw, services that they provide and everything that goes with it. as
Like the
far as
admin, the overhead.
Admin, the overhead, the drugs they provide, all of that. I mean, some of that, the equipment, that kind of stuff, that is what they provide, which they provide, I believe it's 5 nurses, and that's what Stephanie has as far as the current contract that we have, and it doesn't change except for the price. But a doctor comes, I think, once a week. They provide x-ray services. I mean, they can pretty much do anything that an ER can do at the jail. We even delivered a baby once.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, y'all didn't hear about that one?
No.
Oh, yeah, inmate came in that was from another county that was pregnant and said to think I'm in so our medical staff goes out and triages at the door when they come into the facility. And she told the nurse, she said, I don't feel good and I'm 9 months pregnant. And they took her back there, and before you knowed it, I got a text 7 o'clock in the morning that said, hey, we've had a baby. And might I
Goodness.
add, that's from all research, that was the first baby born in a Coffee County jail ever.
Wow.
But yes, they
But you-
delivered a baby.
You see this day in and day out, and
Yeah.
you like the service.
They provide a service second to none. I kid you not. They care about the inmates. They take good care of them. So they even provide mental health services there. We have a dedicated mental health provider that's there in-house. So,
They do dental too, do they not?
yes, they do. They do. They've got I guess you call it a subcontractor, that comes in, and it's a mobile dental office. It's a big covered trailer that's just like a rolling office, and they bring in back up to the Sally Port, bring them in, do everything, and
Wow.
back in. So they do them on site, so we don't have to transport.
So you got a second part of this you need to?
There is. The second part is what Stephanie was talking about. The 2 pages that you have that say proposed and current. The current is the pricing that they charge the inmates to offset basically what
The county
the
pays.
county pays. With everything going up, these have not changed in several years. But with regular sick call is going from $5 to $15. An emergency sick call is
30.
$30.
Which I think they were probably just eating that
They were.
before.
There was not a quote unquote an emergency. Over-the-counter medicines are going from $5 to $10. Transport charges in county $5 going to $10. Out of county from $25 to $40. And then they had it over 75 miles was $25 plus
That's
$2 a
the
mile.
same.
So
And
who's paying this?
This is it comes out of inmate commissary.
And they pay it?
Yeah. If
So
they
are
don't,
successful in collecting it?
so how it works is it does come out of the inmate commissary account. So if, using me as an instance, if I'm in jail and I have money on my commissary account, they will put that charge in on the inmate medical. Now, if I don't have money per se in my commissary or enough to cover the charge, that stays in my commissary account as a bill. So when I come back, that is the first thing that comes off of the commissary when money goes into that.
Okay.
Wow.
So that's what helps offset the cost of inmate medical is these incidental charges that they charge for. So,
Okay. Everybody looked that over good? Tim, you good with that?
I've got a question on the $72,230 a month that
Yes,
they're
sir.
proposed is.
Yes, sir.
Is there any, that's in the jail budget or under sheriff's department?
No, it's in the jail budget,
Jail budget.
and that was amended for this year.
Right, okay, and is there any money from the state that helps with that at all? Is that strictly Coffee County taxpayers?
No, this part of it is strictly Coffee County tax dollars, even with this, because except for the tax dollars, of course, who brings money to the commissary? Inmates' relatives. So, that's, could be Coffee County citizens, or it could be people from out of state, out of county, whatever. But that is the only offset that is for that. Otherwise, inmate medical is solely on the shoulders of the Coffee County citizens. So,
And do we get, I know we have to house inmates from municipalities within the county, correct?
that's correct.
And other counties, do we ever get?
We get some, typically those are screened pretty stringently as far as if Franklin County calls over and says, hey, we've got a problem with this one, we need to move him, can y'all house him? Typically, we kind of ask those questions about, they have any bad medical problems or
No.
anything like that. If they did, those would be passed on the sentencing county, so inevitably, that could go back to Franklin County and say, hey, he cost us this much money. They would then in turn, in kind,
I
pay
think
that
answers
bill.
my question,
So-
do we get compensated?
We
for
do. We haven't-
inmates that come from,
Knock on wood, we haven't had any that's had any medical issues. Because like I said, usually if they do, that's usually a kind of a
Yeah.
turnoff that, no, we don't really want to. But, we have in the past, but they've not really caused anything above and beyond an aspirin or two per se. Now that I've said that, we'll get one, but
So you need a motion we need a motion to approve this jail medical price increase, correct?
yes, sir.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Okay,
Second.
I'll second that one. I'll second.
No, it's because it's a service.
Okay.
I'll
So-
second it.
Okay, yeah, please, thank you.
Got a motion by Tim Brown, seconded by Jimmy Hollingsworth. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. All right, moving on, we have discussed surplus land. Tim Brown has gone down and looked up county property. I know we've been on this pretty heavy before, and I think now that everything's getting situated back, we need to get back on it again at looking at some of this stuff for sale, so everybody look over this stuff, and I guess we can start finding out what we have and what we don't have.
Yeah, this is a list of the properties that the county owns, it's surplus, but of course, some of it are community centers, so I don't know if we
Sure.
can sell a community center. But I brought 3 examples of pieces that we probably could sell.
Okay.
The first one is with the
Okay.
number 52 on it. It's kind of in the center, that one. This is, and here's the sheet on it. It's 41 Highway and Volunteer Parkway, so it could be a expensive piece of property. It's,
Is that in the industrial park?
it is.
It says it's the
yeah,
industrial
it's on
board.
Volunteer Parkway and 41 Highway.
As far as that go, I don't know if that's gonna be tied with industrial park. It's gonna be,
The industrial board is the only one that can sell that property.
Yeah.
It has to start with them.
Yeah. But I mean, that's just an example of something
Yeah.
we've got. We'd have to talk to them on that. And then the second one is on Brandon Road and Maple Springs Road. It's the 27.
You didn't give me that one.
Yeah, that's that corner right there, yeah.
Yes, the corner, it's, the convenience center is there, so it goes around the convenience center, so I mean, some of it could be kept if the community center expands, and the school's across the road, New Union School.
I don't think I have that one either, Tim.
This is Maple Springs.
Yes.
Yeah, that 27.2, isn't that the convenience center?
Yes.
Tim? Okay, so I know where
I
you're
mean, it's
at.
just vacant land that's sitting there, so I
Right.
mean,
Vacant land that's sitting beside the convenience center?
yes. So some could be used for the convenience center if they expand, and if not,
I think it's gonna have to be expanded, but I'm pretty sure that 5.17 right there, 27, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that's school board property.
well, it says at the top who it belongs to. It says,
I just have,
it just says Coffee County, the owner's Coffee County.
Yeah,
I didn't give you that neither.
I just have the 27, I don't have the,
This. That's the top page. Did you not get the top
I
page?
do not, I just got this page. Okay. So it's,
And then the third one, it's at the dead end of Redbud Lane, Glenberg Park Estates.
is that Twin Lake
Yes.
Park?
It's a low lot. I mean, you couldn't build on it, but it still could be sold, because if I owned the lot next to it, I'd buy it. And the river runs through it, so I mean, it's a river lot. Couldn't build on it though.
So everything on this list right here, of course, we don't know if it's school board, we just.
Right.
Well, I think we need to, maybe we can get a motion to get this going where we can do some study on it, maybe get some time with Stephanie, we can look this stuff up and go over it and see
Yeah,
what we have
we'll
and
have
what
to
we don't
dig on
have.
each parcel though, because some things have stipulations, like if they came from somewhere, if we ever stop, they have to go back, so we kinda have to do due diligence on each piece of property and go back, and that might be helpful with like deeds and the property assessor to make sure that what we've got, you know, what we can do with it.
I just wonder if, looking at this out here on the Brandon, the Brandon Road.
Right.
And the New Union, I just wonder if we cut that road, that at one time, this was all one piece,
Possibility.
and that we cut that in for maybe something with the school or something, and then there would be your New Union Fire, I'm sure, I think that's where that is.
Right.
And then all this, so I wonder if that was all just
One.
one at one time and to divide it up for the different usage, one for the school, one for New Union and convenience.
Tim, what are you saying is surplus, like we're not using?
This 5.17 acres, this L-shaped piece.
This is 53 highway, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
This is school,
No,
That's
that's the New Union Fire, that's the school,
okay.
and then there's the convenience center.
Wow, and that's 5 acres right there?
I wouldn't have believed it.
Wow. I think it's because of how it's hidden, because
Yeah,
it stretches
I
out.
wouldn't have believed it, but
So, I mean, the community center won't expand that much. They could expand this right behind them and sell this off,
What if we cut some of this?
Yeah, that's what I'm
or-
saying.
cut it straight across and then,
and then sell that piece for a house or something, because it's right, Maple Springs, it'd be valuable.
Tim, would you be willing to since you're retired, would you be willing to spend some time and follow up with some of this stuff so we can pinpoint know more about it, what we're talking
Yeah,
about?
I talked to the property assessor, and they said that they would go over each piece and get the paperwork on it, and then we could see, of course, we'd have to probably get the attorney, maybe, to look over it, see if we can sell it. Or somebody have to do the paperwork
Yeah,
on it.
the pieces that I've seen, if they have stipulation, it's, pretty cut and dry in there, like
Right.
what they're giving us for, and, you know, if it's solely ours to do as we wish with it, or if it ever go back, and I've only seen that on a few things, so, but it probably wouldn't hurt to, once we compile a list and make sure there's, as we don't see any stipulation, and the property assessor's office is great about.
Depends on how
help-
we acquired it.
Yeah, so, and usually they're pretty great about helping and kind of digging through all the information that they do have on the piece of property.
Right. And we got a piece of property behind the dog pound too in the city that's supposed to be landlocked.
Well,
We've talked about that.
well.
We,
so
yeah, we,
the-
yeah, we,
city, 'cause the
yeah,
city's
we've,
wanting it.
we've talked about that one.
Yes, we already had a motion from here to
To
allow
have
Judd
conversation.
to have,
To wait,
prior to go talk to Maryland and the mayor at Manchester to see if they are interested in some type of fair market value
Because we-
purchase, because between
And
the governments,
we
we
don't
don't
have
have
to-
to
we don't have
auction
to-
it or
yeah.
or bid it.
and they,
That's true.
and they were interested, but we also talked about, we wanted to get this animal shelter up and going, so we knew
Right.
for sure it would,
So-
we had something to fall back on.
Right.
But now we know, we got something, so I think we
So,
can,
yeah, I think we can proceed with that, so, do we need to renew the motion to
I just think,
allow?
I just think we need a motion to declare that piece of property surplus and let Stephanie start exploring options, right?
Are you able to explore it, or does it have to be the mayor? Or do you know?
I don't know. I mean, I think when we made that conversation, both government entities are allowed to. I really think it would need to be a discussion between probably the mayors and probably legal counsel to see if they could come to some kind of fair market agreement. We don't really have a agent of record or anything that can help us with those sales. I know before this current committee took seat, I had talked to the purchasing prior to that, and they kind of wanted to keep going back every time we made a sale. But without having someone really on our end that deals with property a lot, it kind of leaves us
Have we had an assessment on that piece back there by the,
Oh,
just
I
what,
don't think so.
just what the property assessor has valued on it.
okay, so we've not had somebody look at it and give an
No,
appraisal?
and I didn't waste money on an appraisal for the sale of the Manchester Health Department, and I think it brought more than what it was appraised for, which they thought it would. And, when we sold the museum, it went for more than I think anybody thought it was going to go for.
I think with that piece of property, I think there's only gonna be one party
Use
interested in
for
it.
it.
Yeah, so.
And I think we chose before just because I think they were entertaining the idea of it. The city was that if mayors got together and legal counsel got together, that they could find to see if they were actually interested or not, talking about if they wanted to purchase it or not.
Mayor, would you like to?
I would reach out. I don't know that, when is there going to be a new mayor in Manchester?
August 5th,
And they would be certified September the 1st.
correct.
I don't know if we need to try to do something between now and then or not. I would probably look into a like-kind exchange. I'd like to research and see what the city owns that they're not using that maybe we could use, and just say, hey, we'll give you this for this over here. So it'd be worth researching that aspect as well. But, I'll see Marilyn. I've gotta meet with her anyway, so I'll pitch that out. And I'm pretty sure Judd had already mentioned it.
Yeah, they
I
had,
think
they
they
had,
had
they had talked about it.
Yeah, I know they'd had that, yes, that conversation.
They even had a number thrown
But
out
the
there.
mayors themselves neither have the authority to just make the purchase or make the sale.
Yeah, it'll have.
No,
It'll
I
have
think it would have to come back.
It's gotta go through due process.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think it'd have to come back to us
It'd have
to
to-
approve, and then back to or then on to the legislative body.
Yes,
So,
But we gotta see if they have the appetite
or the interest for yes.
sure,
to purchase.
sure.
And now that we know we'll actually have a location for our animal shelter, I
Tim,
think
I
that leaves
would
us in a
like
better
to
spot.
ask, is this one, is that the entire list of Coffee County properties when you do a property search? That list right there?
That's all
Is
that,
that everything that you?
I'm sure
found?
there's more, but this
Okay.
is just
I
what
know
they
there's
come
some-
up with.
I noticed there's some property back on the end of Hickerson Road. Is that, I don't see it on here. Is that, don't we own?
Belongs to Coffee County?
Yes, sir. I don't see it on there. I think we had looked that up before. I don't see it on there. You know,
Well, this is probably-
we had talked about that one time being a location for the animal shelter, but it was wetland back there. Do y'all remember that? Y'all recall that?
A little bit.
I'd also like to mention, we need to have a tax sale. We've not had a tax sale in years. And we've got a stack of papers in there that we could get started on, at John Marchesoni's office I checked today. Delinquent taxes.
I think John determined that Ed North it's in his lap right now, but I'll check, I'll ask him.
Okay. Yeah, he was saying he's going nowhere with it, so I decided I'd bring it up tonight.
Okay.
Would everybody, since Tim's kind of willing to do this, would everybody be comfortable with Tim heading this up and looking this stuff up and spending some research and study with Stephanie on this and maybe narrowing some of this stuff down for us to look at?
Do you want to be a team?
I'd entertain a motion for that to happen if anybody wants to make one.
Make a subcommittee is what
Yeah,
we need
subcommittee.
to study.
Motion for Tim Brown to head up a subcommittee to study this property.
That's because Frank doesn't want to.
Frank makes a motion.
I guess I'll second it.
I'll second it for you.
Okay, you second it.
I'll second. All in favor of that?
Aye.
Let's have it. Tim, you got a job here.
So we can start marking some of these off, like the community centers. We can't sell community centers.
If it's in the industrial park, only the industrial.
Yeah.
They, by resolution, they are the ones that control, the sale of the industrial park. The 795 acres, when we bought it, then it was turned over to the industrial board. They are in charge.
And you're gonna have to distinguish what the school board has on here, what they have. I know the little, place out on Old 53, the
I
Goose
wonder
Pond.
if that
Pocahontas.
that
Yeah,
one that
I don't
Pocahontas.
think we can touch
that one that you brought up, Tim,
I won't do
here,
that for animal
that,
control.
one there off of
Or
Maple
Robert Gillen
Springs.
did.
Is that theirs?
The place, the little school building at Goose Pond. We looked at that, remember?
I'd almost
Somebody
be
said they
willing to
tore
let
it
them
down.
research that to see if that's not part of the old New Union School. To see if that was originally one big plot. I'd almost be willing to bet it was, the way it is and everything.
Let me tell you, Rennie Bell has mentioned that our New Union Convenience Center needs to be expanded. And he says, I guarantee the school board, we had a hard time getting what we got from the school board. He said, I don't think we're gonna get any more from them, which leads me to believe
That
that
that's the school.
That's theirs.
5.7 acres is actually school board.
Right.
Even though it says Coffee County, the school board, only the deed will tell you. You'll have to be in Donna Tony's office
Pulling the
more
deed.
than Beverly Robertson's office.
Sometimes Beverly will have that stuff actually. She keeps impeccable records, by the way, but
Who's that?
Beverly, like, sometimes she'll have that stuff in these folders, especially if it's county connected, so she can kind of go back and see who has what. But if she doesn't have them, then I know Donna's and her girls will pull it for us.
Casey loves to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Get with Casey down there in Donna's office. She'll have it pulled up and printed in no time.
Okay, so Tim's gonna get on that. Mayor, you're gonna speak with the city mayor and see where we're at on that, so I guess that's gonna wind it up, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Frank,
Second.
second by Tim. All in favor?
Aye.
Let's have it.